Hey, it's Adam Baird, guest posting again here on Art of Blog. Today I've got the first part of a two-part tutorial for you on creating a squeeze page in Thesis. If you're not sure exactly what a squeeze page is, go ahead and read the first part of the actual post, and that will give you a brief description. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward stuff. It's basically just something that you use to collect email addresses from your readers on your blog. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started. This is a two-part tutorial, so today I'm going to walk you through just the basics of setting up the squeeze page, and then in part two, what I'm going to do is run you through really making your squeeze page unique, setting up custom headers, navigation, and footers for your squeeze page. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started on part one. As you can see here, I've got just a basic demo environment of a Thesis installation, and this is just a naked Thesis installation, and I've got just a bunch of dummy posts in here. So just go ahead and run up and down here so you can see what's going on. The first thing that we need to do is go in and we are going to create a new page, and we're going to go ahead and call it Squeeze. And then the really important thing here is that we set the template to custom. Template custom. You can set a page parent if you would like. Totally up to you on that. Just like with all of your other Thesis pages, you can set up any of the SEO stuff that you need to. All of this stuff is totally fair game for you to use just like you normally would. The one thing that you need to note here is that we need to leave the content box empty. Actually, you can put content here, but it won't show up in your squeeze page. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, you may as well just leave this empty. All right, so now that we've got our page created, what we need to do is use custom functions and custom CSS to set up our squeeze page. And actually, really quickly, before we do that, let's go ahead and visit our squeeze page so you can see exactly what that should look like, just as a standard template. And the reason that it's not showing up in any sort of custom fashion yet is that we have not used hooks to attach our custom template to the Thesis custom template, and we'll do that in just a second here. But before we get to that, obviously, we have to create a custom template, or actually a custom function in our customfunctions.php file, and then we'll use hooks to place the template in the correct place. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste our code into custom functions. And just to run you through really quick what's going on here, first of all, what we do is we create a function. And as you can see, the main content here is just an Aweber form, which that's what this JavaScript is right here. It just calls that form. And then a video. So basically any video you want to put in here. And for this, you can put anything on a squeeze page. For this particular example, I'm just going to keep it simple and use a video and an Aweber form. Obviously, you can put text, you can put photos, whatever you like. Okay, so as you can see, there's the YouTube code. And then after that, really there's not that much code involved here. It's just what you see right here. After that, as you can see right here, we've got our Thesis hooks. The first thing we need to do is remove the custom template sample, and we're using the Thesis hook custom template. So we got to remove the custom template sample. That's what ships just natively with Thesis. It's there when you install Thesis the first time. So we remove it, and then we add our squeeze template to the same hook, and obviously squeeze template is the function that we just created, so we're adding it right there. And as you can read right here, what that does is insert the custom page template for our squeeze page. And real quick, just so that you can see and totally understand here, we've set it up so that this template only applies to the squeeze page. So if you set up any other page as a custom template, it won't take on this form, and you can either leave it as a regular page or you can designate a different custom template. There's a really amazing tutorial written by Birchman, and it's actually referenced in the article, so check that out if you like. I would highly recommend it. So with all that said, let's go ahead and click our big ass save button. Let's go back to our squeeze page and we'll refresh. Now as you can see, it doesn't look quite right yet, but as you can see, all of our content is gone. So our regular article area here, and then our sidebars 1 and 2, our multimedia box, all that stuff is gone since it's not part of our custom template. So basically the elements that are involved here, we've got the nav menu, we've got just the typical header area, and then down here at the bottom we of course have the thesis attribution. And when we get to part 2, I will take you through how to remove all that stuff, put different stuff there if you want, or you can just leave it as is. So what we need to do next is add a little bit of CSS so that our video will appear on the left and our Aweber form will appear on the right. So what we need to do is go back to our Thesis custom file editor, go into custom.css, and as you can see I don't have anything in my my CSS file, so we need to enter some CSS. And basically all this does, squeeze just refers to all of the squeeze page content. So right now the width is 900 pixels. You can set that depending on your blog, depending on the width of your blog, depending on what content you put on your squeeze page. You will probably need to change this number. That's just there because that's what works for the content that I'm putting there. So keep that in mind and basically just adjust this to whatever you need it. Margin, the 1.5 just refers to the top and bottom margins, so there's a little bit of a margin between the arrow here and the header, and then obviously between the footer and the video. And then the Aweber, since Aweber appears first, we need to define a width for our Aweber area, and then we need to float it right. And if we go ahead and go down and click the big ass save button, and what should happen here when we refresh is this will appear on the right and the video will appear on the left. And there you have it. And all of our margins are correct and everything, and we are ready to go. It's pretty much that simple. I hope that this tutorial helped you. Stay tuned for part 2. It should be coming up soon. I'm out for now.